It's official. The New England Patriots have officially traded away defensive tackle Davon Godchaux to the New Orleans Saints in exchange for a 2026 7th-round pick. I'm Allie Barefoot, host of Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Going to break down the latest trade details on today's video. But first things first, please hit that subscribe button for me. I don't want you to be the only Patriots fan that doesn't know what's going on this week with their favorite football team. I'm going to make videos at home if any breaking news happens. But I'll be at the Chat Sports studio getting you guys the latest information on what the Patriots do this week. Godchaux obviously does not come as a surprise because he did seek permission to have a trade in the last 2 weeks, so we knew this was going to happen, and there have been reports that maybe Godchaux didn't really fit the defensive scheme that Vrabel was trying to bring to New England. Who fits that scheme? Well, obviously linebacker Harold Landry III, who they just signed to a 3-year, $43.5 million contract yesterday. Godchaux, about 30 years old, 6'3", will now head to the New Orleans Saints. I think he's going to be a great defensive asset for the Saints. And we could possibly see another move of Chase Young, the defensive end, leaving the Saints. Possibly could be a suitor for the Patriots moving forward, as the Saints are also trying to find their defensive identity. But they absolutely got a stud on the defensive line, and a really consistent player. He's played in all 68 games possible for the Patriots, and he started 67 of those games at nose tackle for New England. However, the Patriots are trying to get a little bit younger on the defensive side, and right now there is a little bit of a health concern with Christian Barmore. Obviously missed a lot of games last season dealing with those blood clots, no fault of his own, but we do have to monitor that moving forward. So maybe the Patriots want to add a little bit more injury insurance or depth to their defensive line. I know they have been linked to defensive tackle Philadelphia Eagle Milton Williams, so definitely keep an eye out on that name this week. See if the Patriots can possibly come to some kind of deal. But I kind of like the idea of getting a little bit younger next to Keon White. With Godchaux, you were definitely getting a very reliable player. You're getting a great pass rusher and definitely going to try and hopefully help with that run defense as well. But for the Patriots trying to find their identity and hopefully get back to a top 10 defense, I do think this was the right move. This does open up about $700,000 in cap space, with the Patriots already having $127.7 million in cap space. This allows them to have a little bit more leverage to get younger and add more players moving forward. Obviously, there was a little bit of a tiff with Godchaux and the Patriots last offseason because he wanted to be extended, which they ultimately did end up signing him to a 2-year contract. But the Patriots mainly had issues with Godchaux's leadership in 2024. He did have a couple of comments after some losses that questioned the Patriots front office, which obviously they didn't really enjoy. So I could have seen this move coming arguably earlier this summer, but now the Vrabel has officially been hired, I can see that why this move makes a lot of sense to the Patriots. I don't know if I 100% agree with moving on from Godchaux right now. Obviously, they're getting a huge defensive asset in New Orleans, but if this is what the Patriots need to do to get younger and have a healthier locker room, then, that's business, and obviously we do hope the best for the LSU graduate and the Louisiana native. So it looks like Godchaux is going to be able to go back to his home, maybe have a better fit in the New Orleans defense moving forward. Godchaux is going to earn about $4 million in 2025 and $5.5 million here in 2026. There was $16.5 million of guaranteed money when Davon Godchaux did sign his 2-year contract extension with the Patriots last offseason, but he did have a quite extensive track record this last year for the Patriots. I'll bring up his stats right here after Ian Rapoport has announced the trade in the last hour or so, but in the last 4 years for the Patriots, in 2024, he did have 67 total tackles, did not have a sack either, but that's because with the Patriots 3-4 front, they were really using Godchaux for more of his defending abilities on that offensive line, not so much as the headhunting abilities to try and reach that quarterback, but he still did have 7 stuffs and 1 pass deflection. So the Patriots will now move on from Godchaux and try to make their defensive line a little bit younger. There is concerns about Christian Barmore moving forward that I think the Patriots should probably try and address right now in free agency by adding on some of that depth to their defensive line, and they're obviously going to have to try and fill the shoes of a player like Davon Godchaux. But a name to definitely keep in mind is going to be Milton Williams from the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll give you guys his stats here. Obviously, just got a Super Bowl ring, which is huge, so he can obviously bring that defensive asset to the Patriots. But before I tell you guys about Milton Williams' stats and what he may be able to bring to the Patriots, because I would look to probably try and add him regardless of the Davon Godchaux trade, but definitely try to add him to that 3-4 front this free agency. Go on ahead and give me your one-word reaction to the Davon Godchaux trade news. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, mine is going to be not surprising. I knew this trade was coming. I would hope that we could have gotten a little bit higher than 7th round pick, but it does make sense for a 30-year-old. So I do think ultimately this is a pretty fair trade package, but if I had to speculate, I would say the Saints won this trade with still getting a very good defender in New Orleans. Now, Milton Williams played 17 games last year for the Eagles. He's also played 67 games over the last 4 years as well. But a guy like Williams has 24 total tackles, 5 sacks, so that can be a huge asset to Keion White, who had 5.5 sacks last year on the 3-4 front and only 1 pass deflection. Also, what I like here about Williams is that, well, he's 25 years old. This is a way for the Patriots to start getting a little bit younger, start trying to add on to the defense, especially with an all-pro, second-team all-pro, and Christian Gonzalez, and a defensive line specialist in Terrell Williams now as the defensive coordinator. So keep an eye out for that name, but there are, of course, other areas where they can improve. The edge rush position is another area. Maybe the Saints would now consider possibly making some kind of deal with Chase Young, knowing that he's a free agent. Maybe he would like to sign with the New England Patriots moving forward, and we could possibly get a defender for a defender, but nonetheless, just a 2026 7th round pick right now for Godchaux. This is the first move they have made on Monday morning as the legal tampering time has now kicked off, which is 48 hours prior to the NFL free agency. NFL free agency does officially kick off on March 12th, which is going to be on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'll have the latest here about any trades, extensions, or signings the Patriots may have this upcoming week. If you guys haven't already, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. That way you guys can get all the latest news and rumors on your favorite New England Patriots football team.